Okay, guys, I'm sorry. I'm back. I was told that you could not hear my video, so I had to change it. I had to restart again. So, anyways, I'm about to talk about it. Okay, so as I was talking about it earlier, just really staying in your lane, period. Okay, guys, so y'all know how I do my YouTube videos, right? So y'all know that I work for the RMV and I was out during a suspension for almost 1 year, which is totally embarrassing because when people say, "Do you work for the RMV?" and I say, "Yeah, but I'm not at work," I don't like to explain that story because it's crazy. Okay, because it's unbecoming. So the bottom line was I just was talking to my union rep and she was just telling me like they only keep footage for 90 days at the RMV, which I didn't know. I'm like, only 90 days because things that happened to me was on tape that was going to support I did not do the things that they accused me of doing. So apparently people at your job can accuse you borderline of criminal activities and don't anything happens to them. Now, when I tell the people about statements that people claim I made, they're like, huh? I was like, have you ever heard of that? And they say no. That's why they got this law for Karen. And now when I sing at my office, when I sing in the office, or if I'm talking, I keep getting brought into the office before my management, not just management like you got the assistant. You know, you how you always have a it's a way that you do things priorities. You have to go through the management, assistant manager, I guess supervisor, assistant manager, then manager, and then you go past that human resources. Well, I go always straight to the top. I always have these investigations, and on one of my investigations they suspended me for a whole week, 5 days. It was during, and they told me I had to come back during the Martin Luther King weekend, and that's when they took my money and stuff. My mom said she don't think that was an accident. So I was like, yeah, well, anyways, they found me, guilty of what the people said. So I just talking to my union lady, the lady who represents me from the union, and I was like, do they have footage? Because if you accuse a person of an act, where is your proof? Because if it's your word against my word, and this is how it go. When you accuse people of doing things, committing acts that they do not commit, and you say, I heard them say that, okay? And it's your word against their word. Why is their word more credible than your word? If we all can deny or confirm, yes, I did say that, or no, I did not say that. How come I don't know who my accuser is? When I said before, I have imaginary beasts. I have people that do not like me on my job, but I don't know who they are. And then some people, they was in a part of an investigation regarding me, supervisors and managers and assistant managers, and the company supported them because why? Why did they support them? When my daughter went there to the registry, my daughter went to the registry. This is how I got suspended the very first time. My daughter went to the registry. Okay, so she's my daughter. So I told her at home, I said, that you might have to take a picture. So make sure your face is beat. Make sure you look good. So she went there to do her permits, to take her permits, and she had her face made up. Okay, but the guy who processed her application did not did not take her picture. He assumed, this is the key right here. He assumed that she didn't want another picture. So he just went on and processed the application. Now, some people, they'll wait till you get to the end of the application and ask, can you get another picture? Can I take another picture? You might not want to do it, but if they request that and ask that, you can do that. Okay, there's nothing in the policy that says that they cannot request another picture or they can't even request a picture. So I felt like when I came back, now I was on lunch, I was going to lunch, and I said to I came back out the back from the room and I saw my daughter standing there. And when I saw my daughter standing there, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I thought you was finished, you know what I mean? He was like, he didn't take my picture. So I seen Louis coming in. I was like, oh, Louis, you didn't take my daughter's picture? And he's like, no, I didn't know she wanted another picture. He's like, I can do it. So when Louis was out on lunch too, I went to Sarah, a supervisor, and I was like, Louis forgot to take her picture. Would you take her picture? She said, yeah. So now my assistant manager, when I come back, I went to Target. I went to get an avocado. When I come back from getting the avocado, my daughter is still standing there at Sarah's window. Cute. So I said, oh, what's going on? She was like, they didn't take my picture. So the assistant manager come out now and persuade my daughter to wait till she get her license to take the picture. Okay. So she's like, you're looking all good and sexy. You could do that again. But my daughter had took the time to make her face and do all of that before she got there. So just wait till you get your license and then you can take another picture. So I said, oh no, we don't do that, Cladea. She wants another picture. Take the picture. Now, me working behind the scenes, I know how they operate. So I know it wasn't anything, okay, for them to take the picture again. In fact, the person, Sarah, she covered her ass. She took the picture. Now, we have the height of the pandemic. So why is my daughter returning to go back to the registry? So anyways, fast forward. They ended up taking the picture. Now my daughter, she comes home. At this time, neither one of us had computers. So my daughter was going to a friend's house to use his computer. So, we had appointed dates to go there and do things, So when my daughter went to go take her permit, she couldn't access it. It kept telling her she had to pay. The registry do not give back money. They'll give you a credit, but they will not give you back your money. So it kept trying to make her repay for the permit, which she had paid for in cash. Okay. So when she tried to do it again, I was like, let me see. So I read it and everything. And I was like, okay, she tried again. And it kept saying the same thing. So Monday, I called. I said, I will not be in today. And I was like, I don't know if I have to call back. But I talked to this lady named Doreen. I was like, Doreen, I don't know if you can help me with this matter or not, but my daughter cannot access her permits. Doreen said, I can fix it. I was like, okay. So she did whatever. My daughter, she was like, okay, see if you could still access your permit. Now my daughter, she's going to work. So she tried to make 2-3 attempts. So the second time she tried, she couldn't get to the permit, kept reading the same message. The third time, the same message. So I called again. I spoke to another, I'm uncertain who I spoke to the second time. But, okay, so I think I called back and I spoke to Cladea. And she was like, oh, I'm going to fix it. So my daughter went to take her test again. This is the second time, the third time she went to take the test. Access the permit online by either her phone. I think it was her phone. They was like, oh, you can't do it. When I know you can take your permit on your phone or on your mobile device or on a computer. So they was like, oh, she can't do it. All of this running around stuff. So then I called back again. Because they was like, it's kind of an emergency. I was like, well, okay. I'll just call back tomorrow. She was like, I can't get with you right now. But I had hung up the phone, so I didn't completely hear her whole message. So when I went in the next day, which was that Monday, that Tuesday, I went back to work. When I went back to work Tuesday, I'm walking through the door. Clay is smiling like, we're getting ready to work on that now. Why are you messing with my daughter? My daughter came to the RMV. She has an issue taking her permits. Many people's family members have come to the RMV, and I don't think they had any issues processing their transaction. Okay? So now, I said something. I don't want to hear that shit. Okay? So I said, yeah, do your job. You know what I mean? So she got mad. We walked past each other. She was like, she said something. I didn't even really hear her, to be quite honest. You understand? So we walked past. Next thing I know, I did hear her say something like, oh, you did it now. You done opened up a can of worms. And she went into her office. When she went into her office, I went outside. I placed a call to the union. I talked to Rich that day. And I was explaining to him, well, the first time I couldn't reach him. So I went back out. He called me back and I went back out. And I started explaining to him what was happening to me at the job. And now, after that, the next day, they said that, so that same day, later on that day, like about 9:30, they had me escorted off the premises. Okay. And I was wondering why they had me escorted off the premises. Apparently, Miss Claudia told them I said, fuck you, fuck that, and waved my fingers in her face. First of all, we walked past each other. I never I never waved my fingers in her face. The way they're trying to say it, like I approached her and I wanted to fight her. That never happened. I ain't gonna fight. I never had a fight on a job. But if it's coming to defending myself, yes, I've had fights, but never on no job or anything like that. Okay. So she says, so next thing I know, I'm suspended. I don't hear nothing back from them for a year, but now fast forward, they decided that I was guilty of what she said, which is, okay, so where's the video footage showing that? Because if you're saying that I waved my hand in her face and I'm going to fight her, okay, where's the video footage? Why you didn't call the police on me? Why you didn't make no other complaints on me? Because it never happened. It never happened. But now I'm finding out the video footage is only for 90 days. Since I started working here, let me tell you all about the registry since we're going to talk about it, okay? The conditions. So when I first started, okay? When I first started here, I received a call, okay? I think it was certain things happened before I really got there. And one sign I believe that happened was the manager, she gave everyone candy except me when I first started. I believe that was their little secret talking language. Okay. So I was like, whatever, because we always be like, whatever. I began at that time buying candy. That's why I started buying candy because, she gave everyone candy but me. So I was like, okay. I didn't know what it was about. But I didn't concern myself, but it was something that stuck with me. The next thing I know, one of my coworkers kept walking by saying, cash me outside. Cash me outside. Okay? But no. So after that happened, next thing I know, 2 weeks after my job, remember, I started September the 19th. The regional manager called me in his office, told me to call this number. So I go call the number. The person never answered the phone. So I was like, well, they're not answering. So then next thing I know, the other lady, my manager for that office, told me to come in the office because they wanted to talk to me, call that number because they wanted to talk to me regarding payroll. Well, we just started and I wanted to make sure everything was good, all set. So I went in there and I started talking. Well, when I got on the phone, it was the director from labor relations. And he was like, yeah, I was told that you could not do the job. Now, remember, I wasn't even 90 days in the job. They was telling me that you were struggling with the job. I was like, well, I don't know what they mean by that because they send a lot of people to me. The language, they're not from America, so the language is broken. And, I don't know. I'm still new with the job. So, no, I don't know. So I didn't know what they meant by that. I was like, no. And then the guy brought up the fact that, yeah, I heard that you was collecting workman's compensation and working for the state. I said, no, sir, that's not true. I said, before I accepted this job, I said, I'm actually fighting for my workman's comp. I was like, before I took this job, I asked the lawyer who's representing me, can I take the job? He said, don't be stupid, take the job. So that's where we went. He was like, okay. And he was like, I heard that, yeah. So I started explaining to him because I had carpal tunnel. If y'all remember my last videos, I got injured on my job and I had carpal tunnel when I did the surgeries. So that's what I was fighting for. My benefits for that. So, which wasn't much. You understand what I'm saying? So he was like, okay, go to your doctor and have them to fill out these forms. Get the forms from this guy named Derek Mann, I believe from the Civil Rights Department. So I was like, okay. So, I call him up and he sends me the forms. First, I have issues with that because one, this is how they knew about my workman comp situation. The person who got me the job, which was my manager, I didn't know she was my manager. She would see me at my other job. Okay. So that's how I knew her initially. Okay. So it was just on a casual hi, goodbye. You know what I mean? I thought she was cool, but no, she's not. Okay. And that's how it was when we first met each other, like that. So now I'm at my second job, okay, which it was on Route 9 in Natick. And when I go to that job, she sees me at the gas station. I'm at the gas station. I was like, oh hi, because I remembered her. And she told me that the registry was hiring and to go and contact the temp agency. So I didn't know her, but out of respect and because she was giving me that information and referring me, I just went. But I didn't expect to get the job, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? But because she referenced me, she recommended me. I was like, okay, well, she told me about the job. She didn't reference me and she didn't recommend me, but she told me about the job. So I was like, okay. So the first time I interviewed with the two people, I didn't get the job. I was like, okay. So now I'm just going on, doing my DoorDash and everything again. My phone starts blowing up. And when my phone starts blowing up, it's that lady again. I still don't know her, like know her. But she's letting me know and pressing me like, yo, the registry's hiring, do this, do this. I'm saying, yes, hi, bro, peace. So she was like, the registry's hiring. So I went again out of respect to her. And I said to her, so when I got there, she was when I got there the second time and did the interview, she said she was bringing me in the room, and I said, I got a query, and I say, you're a manager. I was shocked she was a manager, but she was like, yes, she was a manager. So I was like, okay. So one of the girls that be actually beefing with me when we walked by, she was like, oh, that bitch is a snitch. I was shocked because this is a manager talking like that, but I didn't say nothing. I asked her, did she know another lady that worked there? And she was like, yeah, that's my girl. I was like, oh, okay. Because I knew her too. I knew her from a different area and group of people and everything like that. And so I knew that lady and then the lady who I met at the supermarket. I knew both of them. I didn't know one. I don't know either one of them personally, like I ever hung out with them, but we interacted. So from there, okay, so that was the first thing. Next thing I know, I got the job, and like I said, the guy I was talking to, I told him, he was like, don't be stupid. I mean, I told him about what the lawyer said and everything like that. He recommended that I go to my doctor's appointment and get the letters and everything like that. So now, fast forward, that lady that got me the job, I called her one day because it was early in my employment. And I thought I had a connection with her. And I asked her, was you at home? She said, yeah. And I explained to her what was happening with the other job and the workman's comp and, that sort of thing. So I revealed that information to her, which I wasn't trying to hide anything anyways. So she went back and told the company because that's the only way they knew what I expressed to her. Okay. So she was like, well, I need someone that's going to keep the job and that's going to be over here typing. You let me know whether or not you want this job. So I was like, okay, well, who's about to quit a good job? You understand? Regardless, you work your way through things. Okay. So I was like, okay. So next thing I know, okay, so she told the guy, because when the guy was talking to me on the phone, I said to him, yes, that's right. I said to him, sometimes the computer don't work, it gets frozen. So he in turn had them to make to fill out a receipt to get the computers repaired. So she says to the supervisor, oh wow, if she's telling the truth in reference to me, if I'm telling the truth. Okay, I was like, I just ignored it because I heard it, but I just ignored it. You know what I mean? So fast forward now, this is when the girl, so after that incident, there was things that was happening indirectly. Like one of the girls kept walking by saying, cash me outside, cash me outside, cash me outside. I'm like, I just noticed it because it was a conversation that took place in the training. And that was a statement that I used. I was like, well, yeah, if someone doesn't like me, I feel like, you know what? Instead of having all this aggression on the job, just cash me outside. And we all bust out laughing. But it was in reference to Malik Yoba, which the trainer brought up the conversation, talking about Malik Yoba went to interview with a person and they put out there that he was gay. And I was like, you know, and how Malik Yoba wanted to fight him. I was like, well, that's expected in our culture. That's what we do. You know, that's what happens and everything like that. So she must have went back and told them the conversation that we had, because that's why the girl kept saying, "Catch me outside, catch me outside." Not that I have proof of that, but that's what was happening. So I was like, okay. So come fast forward, I noticed they would be having little comments to say, like, okay, for instance, it was always, "I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail," and grandma. Now they was calling me indirectly grandma, but they was calling each other grandmother. So I can't say they were saying it to me, but it was still being said around me. Okay. But I can't say that they were saying to me. But when I felt like when I used to dress a certain way, they was calling me a grandma. I used to wear long skirts and everything like that, just dress modest and keep my body covered. They was running around here calling me grandma. Now I know I have a nice body. I'm very cute and sexy for sure, without a doubt. So I'm like, this goofy grape and this other fucking Kermit looking bitch running around calling grandma. I look both better than both of these bitches, and my children look better than these hoes up in here. Period. That's how I was feeling. So I'm like, okay. So then I started dressing different. So all those comments regarding grandma, I didn't hear them no more. So I don't know if they was talking to me, but that's what was being said around me constantly, and about the jail. And I told the girl, you don't want to go to jail. Stop acting like you want to go to jail. You couldn't even last in jail. You ain't that type. You ain't built for that. She's the type that you could tell you're a follower now, girlfriend. So stop running around like I want to go to jail, like you about that life, like you be out here in these streets. You know you're not. You know you don't. I don't even know why you talk like that on the job. Why you talking like that on the job? But you know, I just mind my business. I just mind my business. So after that didn't work. So let me tell you how it went. This is how I could tell you how it went. So now these specific dates. So next thing I know, October come, okay? So this is all in October. This crippled handicap guy, he always would say stuff to me. Like, for instance, let me give you one that stuck with me. He said, no one around here likes you. No one here likes you. And at first, you know, I used to go back and forth with him and everything, but then I was started listening. And I was like, no one likes me. And then I was like, well, you think I like y'all? I just work with you. You understand? Don't mean I like you. So I stopped that. So then that was the first day. No, that was the second. So it was October the 29th, 30th, 31st. So that was on, okay, October the 30th. October the 29th, my manager going to ask me. Now, I work around a whole bunch of foreign colored people. Not all of them is black. I'm probably the only black one there. I don't know American. I don't know. You know what I mean? But she going to say, did you say you don't like black people? I was like, what? See, I never paid attention to the first accusation, and to be quite honest, that was the first one. She said, you don't like black people. I was like, I'm black myself. I'm pro-black. I love black people. So I don't know where she got that, made that statement from, got that out of her head. Okay. So I was like, what? So then I was like, nah, I didn't say that. So I just like, kind of like blew it off. Then the next thing I know, it's like she was like, you're pitiful. I was like, what? I'm pitiful. So I had to back it back up. I was like, pitiful. Oh, I'm not that. Anyways, and I laughed it off and I just was like, let me get out of here. So that was the next day. So after that, I really like, it was like two things. The one, she went and brought a private conversation back to the company. And two, she had a nerve to call me pitiful, and she's a manager. But if I would have called her ass pitiful, because like I heard a customer call her, tell her she was a piece of shit, she had them removed from the site, okay, the facility. All right. So, and it was right after, it was like sweet revenge, because it happened right after she called me pitiful. I was like, yeah, look at the Godson and the customers and read them their rights. So I found that very funny, chuckled with that. So that was that. So then the third day is when me and this girl get into it. So first of all, it was two people that day. So one girl, she want to call me. The one I told you I knew her from a different setting. I knew her. She's gonna be like, oh, you better ask somebody about me. Well, I gotta ask somebody about you when you right here and you can't talk for yourself. I don't have to ask nobody about you. I don't care who you are. What that got to do with me? I don't care who the fuck they say you are. That has nothing to do with me. You didn't harm me. You understand? Hey, Gerald Levert, you didn't harm me. So I don't have no reason to ask anybody about who you are. Okay? So, because I wouldn't answer her because the bitch was fake. One minute she want to speak, the next minute she don't. It's just like 50 said. I felt her energy. Her energy and her vibe was wrong. And once I stopped acknowledging her, okay, once I stopped acknowledging her, she felt some way because these people is all about control. So fast forward, the girl was like, me and this girl, we got into a heated exchange. She ended up calling her people on me, pointing me out to them. Okay. But me and her, she was like, are you okay? I was like, are you okay? Everything she asked me, I asked her. So then I was going to call the union. Okay. I was going to call the union. So I was asking because the supervisors was there. Cladea was there. Oh, you should have been here on Halloween. They thought that shit was funny. Okay. Cladea was there and Sarah was there. They're both supervisors. But the girl, her approach towards me, it was like the way she was coming at me, it was very aggressive. So I'm like, oh, okay. You understand? So then after that exchange, next thing I know, she calls the union lady show up, union lady named Warren. She shows up. I didn't know her because believe me, I'm new on the job, so I don't know anybody yet. I would see a name sometimes, but I didn't know her. So she show up. The girl who I had the heated exchange with, she runs up to her and her auntie, and she starts talking to the supervisor and the assistant manager. And after she did her rounds with them, she came to talk to me, but I wouldn't talk to her because the relationship was too close, like it is today. Okay, with her, the relationship was too close. So when that didn't work, fast forward now, November, I don't think anything happened. Come December, they bring me in the office. The chick that I told you I knew her from a different setting, she brings me in the office. The assistant manager, Cladea, she brings me in the office and she says, Lynette said, Nanette, whatever her name is, Nanette said that she overheard you telling the only girl that I talked to, which she didn't never know, and this is the first time I'm bringing it on film. She says, because they told me today that investigation is closed. Okay, so she says she heard me tell Marie that she was a stripper. Now I'm going to tell you about Nanette. Nanette was a stripper. She don't mind telling you. She was telling me around the guy, the security guard. She used to strip for white elite men. I looked at her like, she was like, oh, I don't care. I'm open about that. Who is open about telling somebody around a man that they was a stripper? But I didn't say nothing because it wasn't me. Don't you know when we had that meeting, she brought that up again, but she was the only one that ever brought that to that job, that lady. Okay, she's the one who's proudly running around telling people she was a stripper after working a job for 20 years. As she liked to say, I've been here for 20 years. She was comfortable with saying that. That didn't come out my mouth because I don't have those type of conversations on the job. Okay, what I do in my own home and what I do after work is on me. That's me. You understand what I'm saying? But I ain't never had that type of conversation about her dancing. And then not only that, why would I be up there talking about she dance? She's not anyone for me to talk about. She's not even a flat chick. She ain't got no bitch. She ain't got a bad body. She means nothing. She wears 8-ball jackets. I mean, like, whole style is corny. Like, you came up with a Louis Vuitton bag during the riots. You know what I'm talking about, people. follow with me. You understand? You be talking about, oh, this bitch is a snitch. I'm gonna get this person. Get him. Get him. You going up in here. So I said, I don't talk to you at you about you. And this is the first time in my life I ever met a person that will tell me to my face I lied on him, knowing that I never even said nothing about the lady. And I felt bad that I even knew her ass, because in the past I tried to help the bitch get a fucking apartment. Yes, I did. She was homeless or going through something and she was looking for a place. I referred her to one of my friends. And I think back then I had to check her then to let her know we don't run in the same circles. The only time you really getting this information is because you need help finding an apartment. She was telling me about how some young girl, because she had flipped over, started was dating a woman, and your girl was using her. She was telling me all her business. And that's why I told her, if I really wanted to talk about you, I'll go up there and tell the business I know, not the assumption. I don't know what she did. I didn't know she was teaching those courses. I didn't know much about her. But believe me, she was the one up there talking about she was a stripper and proud to be saying it, and in front of a man. You understand what I'm saying? So that's when I called the director, Mr. Norton. In fact, I reached back out to the same people that they called regarding me. That's Mr. Man from the Civil Rights Department. I was like, I'm being accused. Because when she said that I said that to that girl, I said, go get her. I said, no, that didn't happen. Go get her. Go ask her. Because if I'm going to bring you before somebody, especially a manager and an assistant manager, and I'm a temp employee there, I'm temping. This ain't even a permanent job because they haven't even decided to hire me. I'm like one job. I started September. We're not even December 19th, 2 months into the job. September, October, November, December. So 3 months later, you bringing me in the office telling me. So after I said my case, and she had a nerve to say, yeah, I heard you say that. I said, you did? Yeah. Sitting up there with a bougie ass and shit, wanting to be. You should see her. Somebody told me, like, yo, I was cool with her, and she flipped on me. I was like, yeah, I think something's going on up in there. I don't know. I don't fuck with it. I don't mess with her after work. I don't mess with her at work. I see how she is. No parts. I don't have no parts of people like these types of people. I don't hang with them outside of work. I just don't deal with them. You understand? Then one time they offered me a salad, opened up the salad dressing and poured it all on there. Mad because I'm taking care of myself. Mad because I'm healthy. Because, no, listen, I come here to work. I love people. I have no problems with the people. I love the job itself, but behind the scenes, it's too much office politics, as they call them. So now move fast forward. Okay, so I'm sitting up there and I'm like, oh, okay. When she did that, and so, yeah, I don't sweat nothing, baby, because one thing for certain and two things for sure, God is for me. And if God be for me, who can be against me? I ain't letting these devils talk me out of position for nothing. For nothing. If I'm wrong, I can fix it. That's what a mistake is. But when I can't never fix a lie. If you saying that I did something and I'm saying that I'm not, somebody's lying here. And I'm not a liar. I always ask God, remove far from me a lying tongue. You understand? Because I don't want to be nobody's liar. I face my demons. I don't run from them. I don't run behind people and hide behind people. I don't throw rocks and hide my hands. I feel like if you feel some certain way, handle your business however way. But don't think nobody's going to allow you to harm them. You understand? So Mr. Skinny said one thing that I agree with. He said when they can't start telling you the truth, they make up lies about you. You understand? And that's what they're doing, making up lies. I've been to work for I just returned back to work January 24th. I'm already out of work February the 9th. You know what they had a nerve to tell me? So we have this investigation, right? And you know what they tell me? They looked at one of my videos. Okay, so say the 8th. The 8th, I was called into the office. All right. This is recently now. I know I'm moving ahead. I'm back and forth. But recently, I was called into the office on the 8th and was told that I was recording my coworkers. I had outbursts and they talked to me about my behavior. That is what, hey, honey, that is what they sent me home for. They said I was recording. my co-workers. Okay, so I was like, hold up, with the security guard in the room, my thing told me he could be there. Why is the security guard in the room when you kicking me off the premises, hearing what you got to say to me? Isn't that private? And what he got to do with anything? Because, like I told her, she was like, you can say I want union representation. I said I didn't have no time to do that. The lady came and said, go into my office. I went in her office. Two people were on a video screen. Okay, the regional manager and another person, I don't even know who it was, and the security guard talking about, yeah, you're gonna be asked to leave. I did. I had an anxiety attack that day. I couldn't move for 45 minutes. I didn't even know what was going on. My head was spinning so much. Okay, now they told me I was gonna be left, and that's why they told me that I was excused off. That's why they escorted me off the premises. Okay, and that is why they was like, they told me the union will reach out to me. That's what they told me. I was like, okay, that was on the 8th. Tell me why, when we just had the meeting the other day, right? You know what they told me in part of my investigatory meeting? They told me this, that they used my video footage that I made at home in my kitchen to use against me. It was so funny because, you know, little babies music that says that he got a song. They used a phrase from that. I'm not going to even tell it because they be watching. They used a phrase from that song and asked me about it. Try to tell me I don't have the right of freedom of expression. I don't have the right to say what I want. Even if I do say it, if I say anything that I said, I have the right to express the way I feel. You understand? But it's a difference when you, hi honey, when you expressing the way you feel, when someone's telling you are off the premises because you recorded them. Now, when we have the meeting, you're telling me about a video I did at home. Come on, man. You brought me in, kicked me out of work for a video that I brought at home. I did at home. Nah, you out of order. It's something going on. It's something going on other than what they're saying. And I believe that it's all retaliation because, you know what? Before that incident occurred, I was on the phone with business support and a supervisor came behind me. They calling me hostile and hung up my call. She hung up the call on me where the customer said, do you want me to write a letter on your behalf? I said, no, we'll work it out. It's all internal, honey. You understand? So she came and hung up the phone on me, but I'm hostile. So they're trying to create a hostile environment, talking about I created a hostile environment because you can't bully me, because I'm not going to allow you to say what you want to me. We all talk. We all swear. Everybody swear. We're adults. Adults swear. Okay? If you're talking about that, means this whole place better be quiet. And then you have so many goddamn employees. How did you find my video to try to use it against me? Because you try to paint a picture about what Yessayana do and is doing outside of processing license. Because I'm going to tell you something. Everybody who trained after me to do a registration is doing registrations. But Yessayana only did 3 since June. Since she started working for the registry and trained before a lot of people that they like is doing them. So you can't tell me it's not anything against me. The same manager that said I put my hands in her face, that bitch bumped me twice. Twice. The first time she did it, I said, yo, Miss Cladea. She said, I'm sorry. And you see, I don't keep dates on things. That's where I go wrong. Right? She said, oh, I'm sorry. This is the RMV. That's what it is. Okay. Yes, the RMV. And I said, yeah, they talk about my walk because I got this very fierce walk. Oh, they talk about, oh, you doing exercise to make your butt big. No. They talk about, oh, my walk. The same lady who said I put my hands in her face. The same lady that bumped me. The same lady came to me and said, oh, well, you think you're different, but you just walk different. Why is my walk the concern? You know, when I didn't have my teeth done and my mouth was fucked up, one of my coworkers said, I wish we could show our mask, Sarah. Okay? Yeah, listen, of course it's inappropriate. Of course, it's inappropriate. I was like, honey, it's not about how you look on the outside. It's what's going on in the inside. I could have started making all kinds of fat jokes and make her feel real bad. I could have did that, but I didn't because I have more sense. I don't go out. That's not my forte. That's not my MO. I don't go out running behind people trying to put them down, belittle them, or make them feel bad. I don't even understand how you get accusations, and this is what it is. Can no one directly said Yessayana did anything to them? So they're using what I say. So what? What if I did say it? You saying I don't have the right to speak? I never harmed anyone. I never threatened anyone. So what if I did say it? I could say anything I want except yell a fire or make a threat. And I never did any of those. You understand? So if you feel like you want to terminate me, fine, do that. We don't have to go through all of these emotions to be like you're fired. I don't think you do. I don't think you do. I know one thing for certain and two things for sure. I'm a hell of a employee. I have great customer service skills. Okay. I know that I've gotten several compliments that went to the top, but they never brought me in the office to tell me that. They never came to me and said, oh, yeah, well, we received this compliment about you. They always wanted to try to bring it down like stereotypical Black language. And because when you say you're a white woman, and you say about a Black woman, this is the language that's in here. She said she's going to thug a bitch. Who says that? Who says that? People that's out of touch with reality, that really don't interact with Black people and don't really know what they do or how they talk. I've never used those words in my life. That was the first time I ever heard of them. I'm a thug a bitch. Why you putting thug in the same sentence with me, a Black person? You think I'm a thug? The Commonwealth of Massachusetts hire thugs now? Is that what you're saying? Because that's the way it appears when you say I'm a thug a bitch. The other chick that's friends with the manager said, I said, all of these people that brought accusations with me are friends with the manager. Okay? Okay? The second one said, I said, I'm going to bust a cap. I'm going to have my sister to bust a cap in her ass. My sister's not even well right now. You go on paper and you say that about my relatives. Yeah, I'm Black. I might be from a poor part of the neighborhood. But you trying to treat me like I act a certain way and I get down a certain way. And you know damn well that never happens. It never happens. I haven't even swore at a customer, okay? But I'm going to tell you what happened to me one day. I go in there and I make this wig and it's red and everything. They have their little sidebar jokes because one of my coworkers was laughing, right? But first thing in the morning, I go in, I have my little wig because I'm doing a little promo shout out for somebody's program. And the first thing I get greeted with, like, this is how comfortable they are. Who is this motherfucker here? That's what I get greeted with. Not I like your hair, not it looks cute. I get greeted. Who is this motherfucker here? Who was present? The supervisors, everyone. They act like they didn't hear this, okay? So I was like, you know who this motherfucker is. Because everything they said to me, I would be like a little parakeet, repeating it right back. So if I said something wrong, it's because you said something wrong. Everything, okay? We all laughed. You understand? So they had a little joke about my little wig, whatever it was said, because one of my coworkers was walking by laughing all day. She was doing it up to 30 months until I reported her. So whatever they said, it was their little inside joke, but I didn't care because they never said it to me. As we always say, if it don't apply, let it fly. But how would you like me walking over you every time I walk by you? You understand? But when you're on film, because somebody recorded them outside of the registry, she ain't laughing. She's doing her job. When I talk about it and bring it to attention, she's doing her job. Come on, man. Hey. When jobs don't like you, and that's how I relate to Kwame Brown. People don't like you on jobs. They make your job miserable. They harass you, okay? And that's what the director of the labor relations department told me. He told me from himself, and he also revealed to me that he was a lawyer. He told me that they are harassing me, which they was, and it stopped for a little bit. When the pandemic happened, they would take off their dirty gloves. This is behind the scenes, not the customers, and put them on my desk. And I knew they was talking about me because one of my coworkers came back and he said, once I found out how old you are, because I don't look my age, fabulous. He said, once I found out how old you was, I had to realize that I had to respect you. So right there, he didn't tell me what was being said, but he let me know that they was having communion about me. And that's the whole thing. It's okay that they don't vibe with me. Everybody ain't going to get along. Everyone's not going to mesh. But I've never done nothing to you. I never went out my way to do anything to you. I don't even care that you don't like me. We don't hang out. We don't run in the same circles. I never interacted with you. I don't know you outside of this job. You understand what I'm saying? My family's sick of these people, man. I got to come home and tell my family, like, I'm suspended again. My mama's sick. You understand? And you sitting here, you talking about I'm suspended. You telling me I was recording my co-workers. But the video footage you bring to me is something I did on my time during my lunch break. You trying to tell me I said my co-workers was gangsters. I didn't say that. You need to look at the video again. And even if I did say that, they are. The way they operate, when I came back, the white lady who lied on me, they was like, yeah, you're the superstar of the office. But this type of behavior, and this is for the record, because it might not affect them today, but it will affect them because this will always be logged. This will always be on video. How certain people lie. And one thing about it, one thing for certain and two things for sure. Once you are known as a liar, you will always be a liar. That's what you do when you make deals with the devil. You run around doing his bit. And I believe that this is the type of stuff that they do. I don't believe I'm their first rodeo. No way. They're too comfortable. You can't say a person's hostile and you're going to be touching them. The lady who was laughing at me, she poked me like this. I like your hair. You don't have to touch me to tell me you like my hair, honey. You don't have to do that. What's called gorillas and monkeys. Can't go to management behind closed doors or talk to these adults like adults and say, hey, this, I felt uncomfortable or I didn't like this, because they start taking it against you, taking it out against you, and mad people start getting involved indirectly. You scared of me, but you came and hang up a call while I'm on the phone. What if I would have done that? What if I would have done that? You have the right to do whatever to me. But God gonna let you build it up so he can take everything from you. You're liars. And that's what it really is. They're liars, man. They're liars. And today this might not matter, but you know how all things come to bite you back in your ass. And that's what happens. These things is going to harm them. I will never go to a person who don't directly say something to me. I will never go to them and be like, oh, well, they said something. I won't do that. If you don't say it directly to me, who am I to say that you said it to me? I'm not afraid of anyone harming me, because the first thing I'm going to do, and if I am afraid, is go down to that courthouse and put a restraining order on you, keep you away from me. I'm going to bring it to the law. If you run around threatening me, that's what I'm going to do. I can't afford to go to jail. I'm too old, first of all, 52. Ain't no jails for me, baby. You understand? The union ain't telling me, like, what is my recourse? They're just like, let's just wait for them. So I'm just waiting for them. Like I said, when I talk about this, I get anxiety. I don't want to fight with nobody. My life ain't, I have to be on point for if my mom passed. That's enough goddamn stress right there. You understand what I'm saying? Whole different level of the game. And you talking about I don't like you. So what if I don't like you? So what if you don't like me? I don't like you. I don't like you. It doesn't matter. But I can do my job. And that's what matters. Do you do your job? Yes. Am I harming anyone? No. You understand? There's a lot of BS going on, and Damn, I have 30 minutes to do my food, guys. There's a lot of BS going on, and oh, nice chicken tenders. There's a lot of BS going on. And you could terminate people and everything, but don't go harassing people and acting like you got beef with people because you joined in on the manager. That bitch is a snake, yo. Period. Period. They do this. They're bullies. They're gangsters. You're bullies. You're not gangsters. You're bullies. Really, pretty much. When they don't like you, nobody heard no one else say anything but Yessayana. Come on. How realistic is that? 365 days working in the office. How come nobody else said that? Because you can best believe if you have an individual who is threatening one person in the office, everyone's at danger. Everyone is at danger. You can best believe that. It ain't just one individual. So why the people who don't want to get involved ain't saying nothing? They know they would be in danger if that is the case. You can't have a person threatening one person. You understand? And everybody's not involved. I don't have no reason to be mad at nobody. I don't even care. You haven't done anything to me, so I'm not upset. You haven't done anything to me. You understand? We're not playing this. I don't care if you don't like it. Don't go around touching people. Don't go around calling people gorillas and monkeys and shit. Just don't do it. The reason, and come on, man. Like I said, you use a video footage against me. Do you remember? Yeah. Certain things I remember, certain things I don't. I talk. You understand? I talk. But why, when I seen the regional manager in the hood, I never said nothing to her because they're liars. Why come when I see the other co-workers' daughters in the hood twice, I never said nothing to you? There's nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say to liars. And you can imagine if you're a liar, you're a thief too. You're everything under the sun because they don't fall far from reach from each other. And why would you go out your way to lie on me? Why? Why would you go out your way to lie on me? Accuse me of things I didn't do. And you know who's going to put them on blast? Heather. Heather's going to put them on blast. The same one they put up to do that lie. They could never get rid of none of those people. You understand? They could never get, they all dirty and they all in the bed with one another. You want to tell me about, you use a notebook, okay? I had a notebook. They tried to say that they seen RIP in there. That's why the security, all of these lies was, I was asked to go off the premises because they seen RIP in my notebook. Where is the notebook that you took from me that had the lyrics in them? My own private personal property. Where is that? You shouldn't have even been reading it. You understand? And if you seen I had lyrics in there, then that's what it is. I'm a writer. But where is that? Because if I go and touch your belongings, that's thievery. I'm off the job. Messing with my daughter when she go to do her transaction. Of course I'm not. I don't like them. Who would like somebody that mess with their family relatives when they go to a place of business? Even if you say, okay, Yessayana, you have an attitude. I don't like your attitude. You're hostile. My daughter wasn't. My daughter wasn't hostile. She didn't deserve to go in there and pay for a transaction that could not be performed because you don't like her mother. Let's keep it real. Even her friend said, I'm surprised you're having that problem with your mother working there. Because there's like, this is unbelievable. But it's not when people don't like you. And it wasn't Sarah, because I'm going to tell you why it wasn't Sarah who didn't do her job. See, Sarah did her job. Sarah, she did her job. And I'm going to tell you why I know Sarah did her job. Because when my daughter went back to the registry to resolve this, the first thing they said was, she's a returning customer. So she's a returning customer. So you know her that well to know she's a returning customer. Then when they did the transaction this time, it was in and out. But guess what happened? Guess what happened? When they did the transaction, remember we talked about the first picture? The first picture that she Lewis didn't take. The second one I asked Sarah to take. Sarah took that picture. Kudos to Sarah for doing her job. Some people ain't a piece of crap there. She took the picture because when my daughter went back and they did fix the problem, the same picture my daughter, well, when she went back the third time, okay, or the second time, she wasn't feeling well, so she didn't even go make her face and beat her face up this time. So she was like, I don't even want to do it. I'm not feeling well, so whatever. You know what I mean? I'll take the picture when I get my license. But guess what? When she got her permit and she printed it out, it was the beautiful picture when she did her face, made up her face that was on the permit. So Sarah did her job. The issue wasn't with Sarah. The issue was after Sarah, Cladea, the lady who bumped me, the lady who said I put my finger in her face, the lady who told me I'm not different from them, I just walk different. They so intrigued by my walk, by my walk. Oh, look at you. So what? Look at me. Look at me. Huh. First, they was gonna make me take a fit for duty test with a psychiatrist. I was like, why am I taking a fit for duty? Why am I doing that examination? I don't work with the police department. I'm not an EMS. I'm not anything that would say that I don't, I need to take a fit for duty to do this type of job, process a license. How many people go take a fit for duty to process a license? I'm not unstable. I didn't say I wanted to harm myself or kill anybody there. It's not that serious to me. Listen, it's easier to go and find jobs. You might not want to, but you can. People that lost worse, better jobs than that. Excuse me. So you can always go and find another job. Okay. So I told my union lady I already see a therapist. If you remember, before I started working for Mass Dot, I was doing therapy. Remember I told you all about that? If you're true to me and you've been following me for a very long time, then you know my life is an open book on social media. I told y'all when I was seeing a therapist and how she cleared me. She told me I can always come back and see her. I was just starting to work at the R&B when I ended my therapy sessions. So I had a clean bill of health when it comes to my mental. And I was happy because I was like, my mind is right. I'm starting a new job. This is perfect. You know what I mean? I didn't know I would be, but that's what happened. Okay, so today I am going to have a salad. That's all I got time to cook. Tomorrow I will cook the kill. I don't have to be to work until 2:30. Praise the Lord. Trash. And I know that I'm not the type that's gonna have to be like, I gotta get a reference from these people if I leave. So why would I fight with them? Why would I fight with the same people I have to get a reference from? You understand? But when people don't like you, it'd be a slew of them trying to go after you and everything. God don't like ugly though. And he already showed me this. You see, before I went back to work, two things happened to me before I started working for the registry. Two things happened. I had a dream. The first time I started working to the registry. And in my dreams, I'm always pleading the blood of Jesus. So the second time I went back to return to the registry, I had another dream, and it was creatures that I'd be fighting in my dreams. You know what I mean? Creatures, I'd be pleading the blood of Jesus. Get them, Lord. Get them, Lord. As they said, it's time to activate the Holy Ghost Spirit. You know, people don't start shit and act like you about that life. Nobody letting you hurt them. No job says you have the right to allow someone to hurt you. You know what? I took a training course, a training from Homeland Security. And the first thing they said do is run and run. That's the first thing they said to do. Try to get away. If you can get away, try to get away. Don't fight. Don't hang around to fight. That's the first thing they tell you in Homeland Security. The second thing they tell you is if you can grab the person, take them. But if they don't come, let them go. Leave them behind. You have to, leave them behind. And yes, and not only that, you're right. They don't own us, but they try to. But after they tell you not to, after they tell you to try to, hide yourself and barricade yourself in the room, they say if you can't do that, your third thing is fight. And that's what Homeland Security instruct you to do, is fight when your life is in jeopardy. Pick up whatever is not nailed down. And that's what I'm going to do. Pick up whatever is not nailed down. Okay? If my life is in jeopardy. Now, I don't have the right to pursue anyone. I don't care what you say to me. I don't have the right to like you, dislike you. I don't care about none of that. But I have the right to protect and defend myself. There's no job in America. They talk about what I said, but my union rep in the security guard, she asked him, she says, how much time can you get for manslaughter? I interjected in the conversation. I said, my baby daddy got 8 years. She said, excuse me? Well, right there, I fucked up because I definitely interjected in her conversation. So the security guard says, he looked it up and he told her, it depends. And they went on. I started minding my business after that. So these are the type of conversations that we have on job. How are we going to get away with murder? But I'm the one with the problem. These are the type of conversations we have on a job. Oh, you're a savage. Because you go and hang up a phone call rudely on your coworker. But you just was calling yourself reprimanding me, telling me what I said in front of a customer wasn't right. And am I going to apologize? And how you talking to me? Lady, watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth, man. Watch your mouth, please. That's the whole thing. You sit up there and you talk about people, then you're like, I didn't say nothing. I didn't do that. I'm innocent when you know you're not. You're old enough to be my mother. I got respect. So I deal with elderly people with respect. You understand what I'm saying? I don't think I can fight an elderly person. I don't think I would be out here fighting someone's mother unless I had to defend myself. Other than that, I don't see myself. Man, I'm way too classy, way too working to get things in my life, way too maintaining. You understand? I don't never have to hide behind anybody because one thing for certain and two things for sure. There's no law on earth that says you don't have the right to defend yourself. Y'all never came to me like that. So why would I wouldn't care. Do anybody use this? Ranchero. This is good stuff. Good stuff for seasoning. So I'm about to use some. Okay? Let me take this off first of all. Open it up. This is the Spanish season. Ranchero. So you understand? So people really be in their feelings and they be hating on you. They be hating on you like it ain't no tomorrow, trying to stop your shine. But God said, you know what? She gonna shine because she's a ray of mine. You understand? Like I never oh, I don't like you. Like you're 50 years old and you're running around not liking a person. You 50, you my age, and you don't like me. So fucking what? Who cares? Who cares? My other job, guys. My manager is cool as shit, y'all. And she's a real manager. She's going to leave because she can't manage like a lot of people no more. But she's mad cool. She's from Australia. You know what she does? I like her, and I never thought about this on the spectrum of life. She is going to school to be a therapist to the deaf people. You know what she told me? She told me that, excuse me, some deaf parents don't speak to their children. And I was like, until they're older, because it's like they don't take the language. Oh, you never had this before? Yeah, this is the Spanish from the Spanish store, Ranchero. It's a Spanish mixture. It's just red. It's liquid seasoning. That's what it is. And it's got green pepper, red pepper, garlic, shallots. It looks like, and tomatoes up in here. That's that authentic. Y'all know how I love to eat. I'm being so lazy. This is the lazy way I'm cooking my chicken today. Well, not my chicken, but my making my salad. So she told me that, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's so good, Christian." That's her name, Christian. I was like, "That's so good." I never even thought about that. Like deaf people not being able to advocate for themselves or being mistreated. You know what I mean? But she was like, "It's out there. It's worse than regular people with hearing." I was like, "Oh my gosh." There's a deaf guy at my job too. He be doing the spider. He be doing like water spidering, and water spidering is basically wrapping the pallet. So he be doing that. I'd be like, "Go ahead, sir." Like, there's a guy at my other job too. He looked like he got cancer. His name is Mark. And he looked like he's terminally ill, but he be moving them pallets and staging them. I like him. I like him. You know why I like him? Because he doesn't allow whatever he's going through to affect him. He walks with his chest out and his head up. I love him. My sister was like, he's masculine. I was like, but not in his attitude. His attitude is mad big. He got a bigger than life attitude. I don't care how his physical being is look. His attitude is like very prideful, and I love that about him. There's another lady too. Her name is Darlene. She's like mad old. She be doing all the exercises and everything. When I talk about Miss Darlene, I don't even ask her age. It's not my place. I'm happy she's there. She do her thing. You know what I mean? She be doing all the exercises. I was like, we better not let Miss Darlene beat us. You know what I mean? But she's really sweet. Like we always have like they we have these raffles for things. So if I win something in the raffle, I want to donate it to Miss Darlene because I love her. She's like a no holds barred. She be there. She be getting her like I think like there's a lot of older people that work for Amazon, but I think they're there just to stay busy, not because they really need the money. But Miss Darlene, she be on her tippy toes, like, yo, I hope I win something really nice. I want to donate it to her because I'm like, that's who's gonna get my little gift, you know. Get ready to cut this up real quick, real quick. Put this up in here. Why this top don't work? There we go. There we go. Now stop playing. And then we got Miss Kara, right? This lady, she's an author. She writes at my job. She made a whole planet, characters, and everything. And she reminds me of the Harry Potter stories. Okay, she reminds me of the Harry Potter stories. And with the Harry Potter stories, you know what? I'm like, I could see that coming to life, like the Harry Potter stories. But that's Kara. We're all gonna get together. We're gonna go out. And she was like, I'm not going nowhere without my best friend. I was like, well, then we gotta convince your best friend. Because once it opened up, I think with the pandemic that we all have been like just in the house and just dealing with circumstances, a lot of death. Okay, honey. Have a great day. Okay, Cheyenne. Thank you for watching, sweetie. Get there safe. All right. So with the pandemic, we've just been in the houses. We've just been trying to live. I guess no smoothie for me today. Not right now. So we just been trying to live and really like get back to normal up here. Let me tell y'all what's happening up here for me. It's kind of confusing because some places are allowing masks, some are not. So I be walking into some places I don't have my mask. I'm like, ugh. Then I walk into some places they do, they don't wear no mask. So I'm like, yay! But it's the confusion part, you know. It is my bowl. It is my bowl. I don't know where my bowl is. I'm looking for something. My bowl. Where you at? Where you at? My bowl. So I wanna rock you all night long, all night long. I wanna rock you all night long, all night long. That's Eve's first hit. I wanna rock you, baby. Yeah, so that's what's going on, guys. It's just craziness, but God is good all the time. And again, if God be for me, who can be against me? You understand? If God be for me, who can be against me? But believe me, I think I'm gonna really make a revolutionary move. Hmm. I know I'm gonna need y'all's help. Okay, because people should not have to go to work and be harassed when they're trying to take care of their family. Why can't I just go to work and process a license? I'm not crazy. I'm not a troublemaker. You know, on camera and behind, off camera is two different things. On camera, you're going to have a lot of personality. You should, I think. You should in real life, too. That's what it is. But for most people, I've been eating healthy for a whole fucking year. I'm happy. For most people, this is going to be like a bowl of food, a bowl of salad. For most people, work is sometimes a safe haven for them. Like some people be in abusive relationships and they don't tell you because they're embarrassed. And I don't blame them because I would be embarrassed too if I was suffering with domestic violence. Even when there's times I go through it with my daughter, y'all know that. Sometimes I have shared those videos, but it's embarrassing to be like, I'm going through this at home behind closed doors. It really is. It's not fair. It's like, how do you go and try to live outside of that? I remember I ran into one of my girlfriends. It was early in the morning, and I will never forget this. And this girl, she was always a pretty woman, always kept herself up, always beautiful. But when she was getting abused early in the morning. I was like, "Oh, girl, how you doing?" She gave me a whole spew early in the morning. She was still going to work. She was saying how old boy was kicking her out. At first, she thought he was for her, and she thought he was her knight in shining armor. But after that, he began. She was a beautiful woman. He started listening to his neighbors, and he really began beating on my girl. And she was so distraught early in the morning. And that's what some people go through, going to some of these jobs. They be leaving from hell and hot water. Hell and high water, excuse me. They be like in situations where they be getting the shit beat out of them. And still trying to save face and look good. In which I feel bad for them. No woman deserves to get beat on at all. No man neither. There's just as many men out here getting beat on and abused as there is women. And you know what they both have in common? Both men and women? They're not fighters. They don't fight. They don't behave themselves like that. So people take advantage of that because they know that they don't get down like that. They know that that's not their norm. That's not no character. A person that fights you back, a person that fight will fight you back. First, they may be shocked, like, "What, nigga? You done put your hands on me?" But then after that, they gonna start swinging back on your ass. You don't even know. Sometimes when you put your hand on certain women, you didn't opened up a can of ass whooping. You didn't open up a can of you about to get it now, nigga. That's what you didn't open up a can of. Trying to bully a woman at home sometimes, not knowing her makeup and her character, not knowing, oh, this is what you like to do. Some woman will beat on you and beat the shit out of you. A lot of people don't open up about domestic violence and things like that. A lot of people don't do that. They're embarrassed. And you know what? I would be embarrassed too. Like, I was once in a domestic violence relationship. And you know what? I was too embarrassed. I told my friend, I was so embarrassed to tell my friend. I was like, yo, how this guy was like doing me and trying to take over my apartment. And, I was embarrassed to tell my friend how he was using the system against me. And what he did was he grabbed on me. And when he grabbed on me, I grabbed on him back. Like, I was like, what? And I grabbed him back. And by me grabbing him back, I dug my nails in him. So by me digging my nails in him, I left marks on him. He was like, yeah, I'll tell the police you assaulted me. And let me tell you something. That brother, he was really using that game. I had to go to courts because I did. And I went and got a restraining order against him. I talked to my doctor. I said to my doctor, this is what I'm feeling, how I'm feeling. This is the situation because it was troubling me. And so I was like, this is how I'm feeling. This is the situation I'm in. And they really couldn't help me because a lot of people can't help you and offer you advice. And they're just like you. Some people is familiar with some things out here and some people are not. So even though you want to talk to them and they want to help you, they're not familiar with that. They don't really have the advice because a lot of people don't go through anything like that. And they don't even know how to endure or give you advice on things like that. So I talked to my doctor. And by the next day, I was going to get a restraining order on that guy. And I was like, I don't know. This guy got so obsessed with me. He wasn't hearing it and he wasn't having it. And I couldn't even be nice to him. He wasn't even from here. He was from Cali. But he was trying to bully me and act like he was from the gang. And the police officer told me he wasn't really a gang member like that. He wasn't, he didn't get into the last time he had gotten in trouble, he had he had jumped over a turnstile. That was the only crime he committed. But meanwhile, he was trying to put his hands, trying to bully me out of my place. He was getting high. He was doing a lot of shit under the sun I did not agree with. And I wanted to get away from him and real fast. And like I told that judge that day, that judge said, but he granted me that goddamn restraining order. I said, he's not the man I thought he was, which he wasn't. And I told him too. And I did in the beginning try to help him, but I noticed like things was funky with him because like his money would be gone. He would give me a portion of money, but then all his money would be gone in a matter of hours, not even 24 hours, Because people who do drugs, people front them drugs the day before their paycheck because they know that they're good customers. So they go and they give them drugs to get them started. So the day before they're tweaking before payday, and then now they're going to go to work because some people are functional drug addicts and they just like, oh, I can't wait to get that crack. I can't wait to get that. You know what I mean? So when they get off, they already got that fiending like demon on them. And now they're headed to the drug man to go give them the rest of their money. Pay them what they owe them and give them the rest of their money. So he knew. Yeah. So he knew, like, I told him, I was like, if my daughter don't get this job, you and I are going to be really good friends. And then my daughter didn't get the job, but I really couldn't be his really good friend. You know why? He was a manipulator. I remember one day he was telling me about some chick he used to go out with, and he ain't going to leave her, and he going to do, that's his friend, and I got to accept it. And I listened, and I was like, oh, okay. That's how it is. All right. And once I listened to him, and wait for him to finish, I was like, oh, really? I was like, I'm glad you feel that way. And, I'm glad you want me to understand. But since we're on that level, I just want you to know I'm friends back with XYZ. That nigga burnt his hands. He was cooking and he was handling a dish and he went and touched the pot with his bare hands, knowing that shit was on the stove. I said, oh, are you okay? He told me I didn't even ask about him. I did. I said, are you okay? Because I knew that conversation was a little bit too much for him. But since we was on the understanding and you're telling me about what I'm going to accept, maybe you can accept some things too. I'm glad we got that understanding because I can accept anything you put out. You know that? I can accept anything you put out. But he couldn't accept it. He was like, my hand. I was like, yeah. I didn't even care. You can burn it all off if you want. Because remember, we was on the acceptance about what I'm going to accept and who I'm going to accept. Because that's his girl. Okay, that can be your girl. It's all good. I just did a salad tonight, guys. I didn't get a chance to make my food because I was talking, so I missed the deadline. But the salad is definitely a good way to be on its own. Take care of yourself. Remember, eat healthy. When you get older, so what is older? Older is probably in your 40s. Start taking control of your life for real, for real. start doing right by yourself, eating the right foods, walking, exercising. You know, if you drive a lot, the weather's breaking, get out. Take care of yourself. Walk, walk, and walk. So I was in the store today and the lady was telling me to buy these shoes. And I was like, she was like, you know, some starch guard. She was telling me I can use that to treat my shoes. And I was like, ma'am, she's like, you know what you buy for furniture? I said, I don't have no furniture, ma'am. She bust out laughing. She was like, damn, thank you for that laugh. So it was funny I didn't have no furnishings. Huh? Okay. And believe me, I know I'm a goofy sometimes. Well, I'm not really a goofy, but shit. One thing for certain and two things for sure. I can miss the boat at the dock. I can do that. You understand? God is good. I'll be standing right there. Boat, boat, wait, I'm coming. It'll be like, I only seen that in movies. I don't know if that's how the boat takes off for real though. See, I'm the one, Obi-Wan, the only one. Guys, what's going on? Ah! So yeah, so oh my gosh, guys. Like run this garbage out real quick. Put some more ranchero, liquid seasonings. Oh my gosh, if I die, I'm a legend. Oh my gosh, if I die, I'm a legend. I'm the one. So my job tell me that of my the tape from when that incident occurred is gone. She said the union lady rep told me they only keep tapes at the RMV for 90 days. So I was like, well then, how can you prove my innocence if the tape and footage I'm going to use is gone? That's why my manager asked me what date that was when they brought me in the very first time. They watched my live and brought me back in the office. She said, what date was that? And I gave her the date. And that's why you don't give up your information because they could have washed that. Okay. Hey guys, if y'all want to protest with me, I'm gonna let y'all know the date and where to meet. Mm. Those chicken tenders, those grilled chicken tenders is delicioso. Nothing more. What you doing for me? But I'm not saying that all the people at the R&B is crappy. Just a few. There were some people that I really liked that was genuine, that really tried to help me, that wasn't biased. But unfortunately, these types of people, when they see people like that, that comes to your aid, they start ascending on them, like coming down, descending. Ascending is going up, so descending on them. Hi, acting like they friends. I heard about this before. The same thing happened to King David. So the same thing happened to Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? The lady at my job, my other job, she was like, "You're being persecuted." Okay, I didn't do anything. So that's what God said. When you like God and you follow God, this is what comes with following God and liking God. It's not me that they don't like because they don't know me. It's my spirit. And the word says they don't want to be affected by it. And you don't have to be, because I don't want to be affected by evil and wickedness. Lying on people and shit. That ain't my forte. That's not how I get down. There's people that, that was genuinely nice to me, and they genuinely helped me. And I like them for that. And I love them. And I have no problems with that. And I don't even have problems with the people that have an issue with me, to be quite honest. It's okay. We don't have to be in the same circle. So we don't. I don't have to be like, I'm not going to throw my life away for nobody else who is in a miserable state of decline. I might not like things. I might not like things, but I definitely am not going to throw my life away for nobody, period. Not my children, not even my own flesh. And sometimes it's just, sometimes, shit just don't work. Some marriages is bad, and that's the truth. Some marriages are bad before they even get started. And that's just things we got to deal with in life. No one's gonna ever dictate to me how to live my life. Now, I'm not in no judicial system where a judge or a CEO or a jail person could tell me I'm gonna act a certain way because I'm in their domain and in their space and their environment. So I'm not allowing no one in the free world. This is the free world when you're not in prison to dictate to me how am I gonna live in America. In America. You understand? No, you don't do that. Like, if America was about people, like, people living a certain way or not doing their job, nobody would want to come to America. The ranchero is very salty. So my doctor wanted to increase my dosage of medication. And I was like, I don't want my dose increase, I prefer to have the name brand as opposed to an increase in dosage. No, give me the name brand. I got insurance. Let me see how this affect me, as opposed to the generic brand. And you have to increase my dosage because shit's not potent. No, let's deal with the brand. You know what I mean? So I'm going through that. And I think the medication, it really helps me, guys. It helps me to stay balanced and calm. Like, the medication helps me not to, like, if something is bothering me, my volume goes up. I get anxious. And I notice that without the medication. I guess my emotions, I guess, I get into my feelings. I don't know, but I can definitely see the changes and I can feel them too. because what my union lady was telling me is like my gestures that you see on the outside. I said, but what be happening on the inside is what I'm more concerned about. And that's my heart fluttering really fast. My blood, I could feel that shit going off in me. So that's that anxiety that certain conversations cause me to have because I'm not reading, I'm not understanding what you're saying. So immediately my insides and internals like, huh? Wait a minute, what? It's questioning it. It's not processing it. It's like, hold up. It's almost like a computer glitch, you know? Life is good. You better believe. And if you got a problem with life, then sit back and breathe. Oh, life is good. You better believe. If you got a problem with life, then take a step. No, step back and breathe. Hey, step back and breathe. Hey, throw your weed, throw your braids in your ponytail too. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Oh, you're looking cute and sexy in that fly ass weed down to your feet. They're like, yeah, baby, move that hair out my way, Rapunzel. So y'all know I got the table, right? They told me that it's gonna take almost a damn near month. It's gonna take a month to get my table in the house. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the routine now. Everything is delayed, shipping is delayed. People don't want to go back to work. They're gonna go back to work now that unemployment just stopped. They ain't stupid. They said no more, excuse me, they said no more unemployment. Like your body don't even allow you to rest that long. You know what I mean? Well, guys, I talked enough. I hope I entertained you. I hope that you took something away from my video, and let me know. Well, you can't let me know because I know my comments are off. But hey, let's pray that Kwame Brown and motherfucking Skinny don't get into a fight. Can't we just all get along in the late R.I.P. Rodney King words? Can't we just all get along? Kwame, what you doing rolling in the mud with the pigs? Leave that shit alone, man. Have a great day, guys.